Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivaradhari Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gaur Premanande Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivachakacharya His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīmad Prabhupada Ki Jai Śrīmad Prabhupada Ki Jai Nityalila Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivachakacharya His Divine Grace Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Goswami Śrīmad Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Ki Jai Granthara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande All glories to the assembled devotees All glories to the assembled devotees All glories to the assembled devotees Glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga All glories to Srila Prabhupada Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 3, Text 10. Right? 10. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nama Atma Pradipyaya. Nama Atma Pradipaya. Shakshine Paramatmane. Shakshine Paramatmane. Namo Giram Viduraya. Namo Giram Viduraya. Manasascetasham api. Manasascetasham api. Nama Atma Pradipaya. Shakshine Paramatmane. Namo Giram Viduraya. Manasascetasham api. Okay. Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances. Atma Pradipaya. Unto he who is self-effulgent, or who gives enlightenment to the living entities. Shakshine, who is situated in everyone's heart as a witness. Parama Atmane, under the Supreme Soul, the Super Soul. Namaha, I offer my respectful obeisances. Giram, by words. Viduraya, who is impossible to reach. Manashaha, by the mind. Shetasham, or by consciousness. Api, even. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Self-Effulgent. super soul, who is the witness in everyone's heart, who enlightens the individual soul, and who cannot be reached by exercise of the mind, words, or consciousness. Purport: the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, cannot be understood by the individual soul through mental, physical, or intellectual exercises. It is by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead that the individual soul is enlightened. Therefore, the Lord is described here as Atma Pradipa. The Lord is like the sun, which illuminates everything and cannot be illuminated by anyone. Therefore, if one is serious about understanding the Supreme, one must receive enlightenment from Him, as instructed in Bhagavad Gita. One cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead by one's mental, physical, or intellectual powers. This word here, Atma Pradipa. Actually, the word Pradipa also means ghee lamp, Pradip, or deep. So it's very interesting how Sanskrit is so close to our language. And all the languages actually originate from Sanskrit, especially our language in India. I don't know about English. So you can see how these languages are describing the qualities of Krishna. Actually, these verses are in the glorification of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Because also in the previous verse, it was glorifying Krishna, the Personality of Godhead. And another word is mentioned here, it's seriousness. One is, I went to wear it probably. Prabhupada here, therefore, if one is serious about understanding the Supreme, one must receive enlightenment from Him. So this word enlightenment also, this word pradipa, how, and in any organization or any place that we work, a workplace, or especially in a temple place where we see each other, so we're all looking for some enlightenment. We are looking for some encouragement or looking for someone who can guide us. But that guidance only comes if we are looking for guidance, especially. It's coming, the guidance and enlightenment will come to those who are, especially, Prabhupada mentioned here, especially those who are serious to know Krishna. And that's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. He says, I'm sitting in the heart and I guide those who they're looking for me. From within, I will instruct them. And that's why the spiritual master comes in the form, the super soul. The spiritual master comes to enlighten or guide such individual living entity who are looking for Krishna. So there is a method for receiving the knowledge. There's a way to achieve Krishna. There's a way to see Krishna and get the enlightenment. And Prabhupada mentioned here, one cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead by one's mental or physical intellectual powers. Simple. It's not something material that you can grasp, you can study, and you can get what you want. But when it comes to knowing Krishna, there is a specific method, and that method is you have to have the mercy of Krishna, ultimately. Guru Krishna Prasade Bhai Bhakti Lata Bij. By the mercy of Guru, one gets the creeper of the seed of the devotion to Krishna. And by mercy of Krishna, one gets the Guru. So it's not that one can simply mentally and physically go to Krishna. This process of Bhakti Yoga is very seriously, very scrutinizedly explained in the Bhagavatam, that one has to know the Shastra, one has to aspire to go to Krishna. then Krishna will enlighten them from within. It is not something that you can simply go and get it, like a job. Of course, at the same time, one has to be very devotionally inclined, one has to be sincere, one has to be pure. But this thing ultimately comes by the mercy of Guru. Who in New York City, when Prabhupada came, who had those qualifications as a pure soul? It is by the grace of the spiritual master that these people, they came to see him and they got enlightenment, they got the mercy of Prabhupada. But, so that's the process. The process of Bhakti Yoga is that when we have to aspire to love Krishna. We can talk about it, but actually the endeavor has to come from yourself. And when Krishna sees our endeavor, then Krishna from within our heart, He will further enlighten us. He will give strength to serve Him. That strength comes, is not a physical strength, it's spiritual strength. Spiritual strength is so much powerful than any material strength because it is sukha, it is subtle, it is spiritual, is divine. That strength, that divine strength that comes from Krishna, that can uplift us from the material ignorance that we are born into. There's no other way. There's no other way you can leave this world. This material world is thick with layers of 8 layers. No one can take off and go to any planet. The material world is so thick, and like when you look at the sun, it's very interesting because the sun is so far away, so far away. You cannot even get on the airplane and go to the sun planet. But yet, you're sitting here and you feel the heat on your skin. It's just like you're sitting next to the fire and you're warming yourself. And in India, people sit next to the fire and they feel the heat because of the cold. And similarly, the sun is so far away and still we feel the heat on our skin. That's Krishna's energy is so amazing. Krishna's energy is so amazing. Yet, if we want to really understand Krishna, Krishna is so far away, you have to have the mercy of Krishna's devotee. And Krishna's devotees, they're everywhere, by the mercy of Prabhupada. Hare Krishna movement and ISKCON and all the temples in all over the world, we are providing that facility for people to come to Krishna. It's not that Krishna has already appeared here in the form of the deity. He already appeared here in the form of this temple. He has already appeared here through his books. So Prabhupada said, read my books. The enlightenment you'll get from the knowledge. Jnana dipena vasavata. That verse is also explained. Dipa. Jnana dipena. The torchlight of knowledge. The torchlight of knowledge that will dissipate the darkness of ignorance that we are so engrossed in our heart. The ignorance is so thick that no amount of material knowledge or any material ability can dissipate or clear away that ignorance. The only way you can clear away the ignorance through the mercy of Krishna, through the mercy of devotee, through the mercy of the spiritual master, through the knowledge. Some people say, oh, no, I didn't know. The books are here to explain. Books are the guideline. Just like if you're lost in the forest, then you have the guide map. Unless people, they know that forest is so vast, they can easily get lost. And you hear all the time people go into the forest and get lost, or who knows what happens? We don't go to such deep forest. Better stay where people are. Or if you end up in the forest, then you take a map or your phone if it's working. So there's a system for people to get out from such entanglement. But that system is described is the Bhagavatam. It's the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Śrīmad Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada's books, the scriptures. These scriptures, they give us such profound knowledge that this knowledge can dissipate our ignorance and clear away this deep ignorance that we are born into from lifetime. They say when you get a diamond, the diamond is inside a coal, rock. And that rock is sitting for hundreds of years. And in the middle, they call, when you get a diamond, it's not real diamond. You can't tell it's diamond or not. It's called rough diamond. It looks like a rock. So they cut that and there's a diamond inside. But they can tell this is... So when they get from the countryside, from the mine, they get diamond. If you don't know, that you would think this is just rocks. So there's a supply to the company, rough diamond. And then they cut that, they have to polish it, and then you get a diamond that's sitting inside that rock for hundreds of years. And somehow there's a compression, the pressure from earth and different ways that rock, it forms into a diamond within the rock. So the reason I'm saying this, the living entities, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kavanai, Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karai Udai. That we are born in ignorance, at the same time we also have Shuddha Chitte, that Krishna consciousness in our heart, that's sitting there for a lifetime. We are born into spiritual life also, but just by Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte, by hearing and chanting, we can revive that once again. You understand what I'm saying? So that bhakti love for Krishna, we already have that in the deep in our heart. We are the eternal servant of Krishna. But due to the time, due to lifetime of ignorance, that love for Krishna that's sitting in the heart, it gets covered. Once again, you can uncover that by Shuddha Chitte, that the heart becomes uncovered by Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte. Karai Udai. Udai means, like there's a song called Udila Arhuna. Udai means to revive again, and you can see it again. It's shining through the light of knowledge. So we have to always be thankful to the person who enlightens us. That person that enlightens us is the spiritual master. The spiritual master is so merciful. He comes down here and takes all the trouble, even though they don't have to give us His mercy to the fallen conditioned souls of this world. This is why Gajendra's story. Gajendra was suffering, he was in misery. When he comes, Lord Krishna, Lord Narayan, he heard the prayers, the desperate prayers of Gajendra. And Lord Krishna came down. That's His kindness. And He took a Sudarshan chakra and He chopped off the head of crocodile. Was biting Gajendra. So these verses, they are simply now explaining how the Lord comes to protect His devotees. The Lord comes to enlighten the living entities. Just like the other day I was saying, the Govardhan Puja. You heard of Govardhan Puja? We have a massive, elaborate Govardhan Puja here in Melbourne. I'm so amazed. Like every year we have such amazing Govardhan Puja. And everywhere, apart from Vrindavan and Mayapur, where they have a lot of facilities. But here we have such a beautiful Govardhan Puja. And it says in Krishna book, those who doesn't attend the Govardhan Puja, the snake on the heel of Govardhan heel will come and bite you. So I was thinking, where's the snake here in Melbourne? Because one time I had to travel on the same day as Govardhan Puja somehow. And I was in the airplane and Govardhan Puja is going on. And there's no snake in the airplane. They only make a movie out of it. So, the snake is sitting in your heart as ignorance in the form of material desire. That desire will bite you. Turn away from Krishna. That's how I see it, in an allegorical way. So that's what, sometimes that's how it also how it explains. Of course, my brother was bitten by a snake. Because he must have done something to the snake in past life. He beat him and not me. I was sleeping together. Anyway, so the spiritual master, it comes down here, his prime purpose for coming here is to enlighten, is to bring us back to the lotus feet of Krishna. This way I always look forward to see our Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj comes, oh, Maharaj is coming, and we look forward to that because they are representative of Krishna. Their goal is to give us Krishna consciousness. Their goal is to preach to us, for the fallen people. That is the main reason the spiritual master comes, and we worship them with all flowers and incense like Krishna, because the spiritual master is like Krishna. When you please the Guru, Krishna is pleased. Prabhupada, somebody said one time that if you please the spiritual master, then you're pleasing Radharani. And if you please Radharani, Krishna is automatically pleased, because Radharani is his ultimate Guru. She's showing us how to serve Krishna. She's teaching, training the gopis. Gopi Vartaka Padakamalaya Dasa no Dasa Dasa no Dasa. Here there's a verse, you sing that in the deity worship, right? So we are the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the gopis. And the gopis are trained by Radharani. They're the perfect servant of Krishna because they're trained by Radharani. Radharani, no one can be a higher Vaishnava than Radharani. Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnu aradhanam param. Radharani means aradhana. She's the highest worshipper of Krishna. That's the word, comes from Sanskrit. Aradhanana Radha. Radha means one who is the top worshipper of Krishna. No one can be as better as that. When Srila Prabhupada was growing up in Calcutta, his father, Gaur Mahande, he used to invite all sadhus to come to his house and feed them. He said, I don't want anything from me, but he blessed my son that he gets the blessing of Radharani. You know that? Radharani, she's the topmost devotee, but and yet at the same time, she is absolutely kind and humble and merciful. There's not a tinge of pride in her. She's never thinking, I'm the greatest devotee, I'm next to Krishna, look. She's thinking, my Lord, if I can bring more people to Krishna, that's going to please Krishna. Because her motive is if she can please Krishna more than anything. Just like us. If you want to really please Prabhupada, if you want to really please Krishna, then you please your Guru, you please the Vaishnavas, you cooperate, work together. Whatever outcome is, you try to be the best in our service to Krishna. And this way, Krishna will become pleased. Ultimately, whatever happens, underneath we know that my real motive is to please Krishna. And whatever sometimes we are put into different situations, those situations ultimately is to bring us to this point of serving Krishna, so we can get better at serving Krishna, so we can learn to serve Krishna. So these are all lessons. So here, Gajendra was put into such misery. Imagine somebody biting your leg. Hey, this happened 100 years. They were going on for 100 years in a celestial year, in a heavenly planet. Someone clinging onto your leg and you're bleeding, biting into it for 100 years. Oh man, like we only live for 100 years. And he was praying to Krishna desperately. That's why Krishna is so merciful. Sometimes Krishna creates a situation where we're put into difficulty so that we can serve Krishna, so we can turn to Him. Because what happens is, so we have to always learn to see, underline, what is the reason that this is happening to me. Maybe Krishna wants me to learn a lesson. Maybe Krishna is very merciful, that I'm becoming too comfortable here. So Krishna arranges that we put into a situation that we have to turn to Krishna. This is His mercy on us. This is His kind on us. This is how we have to think. I had some issue right now with some devotees in Sydney. And I'm thinking, oh, you pointing a finger, and I'm writing to Maharaj and GPCs. But then I sat down, I took my beads and I chant my rounds. And Krishna was telling me from within, from the super soul. I felt like, just drop this nonsense and chant Hare Krishna. This is a reason for this happening. I meant to not go there and do that. I meant to stay here. Sometimes Krishna tells us from within, but we are so ignorant, we don't get it. So, but if you're a little bit sincere enough, Krishna will tell you from within. But we have to be able to grasp that. To be able to grasp that, we have to become a little bit sincere. Why an ignorant person on the street drunkard? They're talking to themselves. How come they don't have such knowledge? Because they're so deep in ignorance, thick. The knowledge doesn't cut through. The knowledge doesn't go through because their head is thick, their consciousness is blurred. Their heart is filled with desires. So the spiritual teaching, the knowledge, the enlightenment doesn't go through. Isn't it? Just like when we take Prasadam, we are so absorbed in it. They Haribol, they don't feel that someone's calling you. You're so absorbed in it, which is good. Similarly, when we serve Krishna, we have to be so absorbed. Then Krishna knows this person is sincere. I'll help him. I'll guide him. Don't think it's just going to come to you, the enlightenment. You have to, on your part, you also have to put an endeavor. It is two ways. Krishna is always giving us. He's always there for us. Isn't it? Krishna is always there for us. But He's watching. When are you going to turn to Him? Just a little bit of sincerity. Just like the other day, we were talking about Govardhan's on his birthday. They're out there distributing books during in December, book marathon. And they're waiting for someone, just a little bit of sincerity. They look at you with a smile and you hit them up with the book. Right? We're not waiting for any chances. Where do we get that? Because we are getting it from Krishna. Krishna similarly had the same feeling like a devotee. When we show a little bit of sincerity, you just smile at someone. We are ready to give them all the knowledge and books and invite them to the temple, give them a card. That's what it takes. That's what Krishna says, Prabhupada says here. One If one is serious about understanding the Supreme, one must receive enlightenment from Him. So there's two ways. Not that you sit down and the food falls on your plate. Somebody has to cook it. There's so many things, it has to happen before the food comes on your plate. So similarly, on your part, there have to be endeavor to serve Krishna. Just like I was not meant to give this class. They sent me a message, Maharaji, or Prabhu, can you give class? Because most of the time I say yes, yes, yes. So people think this guy will agree. And so I said, okay. And I came all the way from 1 hour away. And the whole time I was thinking, this is Krishna wants me to speak. It's His mercy on me. Krishna wants me to come to see Him. Like I was thinking in this positive way. I could have said, no way, I don't want to give class, I have so much cooking to do, this and that. So many excuses. And I was thinking, no, Krishna's telling me through that Mataji to come and give class. So see that how you have to change your attitude in our way of thinking as a devotee. I could have said, nah, we point a finger, the devotee in Sydney. But I'm thinking, it's my karma. Sometimes you have to see inwardly and talk with Krishna. You're talking with the Super Soul. Some people say, oh, no, I feel lonely. What nonsense. Krishna is in our heart. Always He's our eternal companion. Krishna is sitting in our heart. Wherever you go, you're never alone. So the Super Soul from within will always give us that indication, give us that guidance, but we have to show that little bit of sincerity towards Krishna. You smile at a devotee, you think, oh, that person likes me. That's all it takes. You don't need much. We're not looking for big glorification. Pat in the back, just smile. That's how kind Krishna is. He's supremely kind. I'm thinking sometimes, I think to myself, how can Krishna, Radha Krishna, they sit on the altar day and night, every day. We sit in our home every day, we'll go nuts. We want to go out, do things, and see girlfriends, go for a sightseeing. Krishna's every day on the altar, every day. He's waiting for your service to Him. He's waiting. Not that He needs, but He's giving us opportunity to serve Him. He's thinking, oh, Krishna is just on the altar and we have to cook for Him, serve Him, and He's enjoying. No. Imagine you were stuck on the altar every day, while you're having a sleep, watching a TV, going out sighting, outing. Krishna is in the altar every day. And people are singing. So He's there to guide us. He's there to give His mercy. He is sitting on the altar, and it's not easy to sit there every day, standing there every day. He's there to give His blessings, His mercy to the people who come to see Him. That's why people come from all over. Let's go to the mandir. Let's go to see Radha Krishna. Whatever it is they're asking for, it doesn't matter. They come to see Krishna. If we want to go to somebody's house, we have to make an appointment. They have to invite you. You can't just turn up uninvited. But the temple, you can come anytime when it is open. Krishna is waiting for us. That's His kindness. Just like, that's what it says here. You want enlightenment? You want the mercy? Come and get it. It's for those who want it. It's available for those who want it. But you have to work for it. You have to work hard for it. Sometimes people say, oh, you Hare Krishna, you work too hard. Look at you. When you're chanting japa, you're falling asleep because you work too hard. That's true. If you all day you don't fall asleep, means you have too much time for yourself. Devotees fall asleep means they work hard. Finally, when they sit down, it's not easy for to keep awake because they work hard for Krishna. I was sitting in front of Srila Prabhupada when he was giving a Bhagavatam class, and I was having a good sleep. And the sannyasis were poking me with the danda. Hey, you nonsense, how you can sleep in front of your Srila Prabhupada? And Prabhupada told them, leave them alone. They got up so early, and plus they don't speak English. maybe that's the reason. But Prabhupada said, leave them alone. They're little kids, they got up so early, and then they fall asleep in the class. That's okay. The effect of the Bhagavatam that I'm speaking, it has effect on them. So then, it was really good because nobody poking us anymore. We used to sleep every day in the Bhagavatam class. and we heard, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam class ki, and we woke up. But Prabhupada is very understanding. He always encouraged everyone how he can progress in spiritual life. He has his ways. He always encouraged, especially youngsters, he encouraged them. Because he knew these kids here, these boys and girls in the young age, they're practicing Krishna consciousness, they are future leaders. They're going to take up Krishna consciousness and they're going to lead this Hare Krishna movement when we are dying. Prabhupada said to his disciples, I'm an old man, I can die any time. You have to push on this movement after I leave. Prabhupada used to say that. Jare deka tare kaha Krishna upadesh, amare gya guru hai taro desh. This means, whomever you meet, you tell them about Krishna. And he said, Guru, you become a spiritual master and teach others. Sometimes people say, oh, you in ISKCON, you have too many gurus. Prabhupada wanted everyone to become a guru. Guru means one who is fixed in knowledge, heavy with knowledge. It doesn't mean something else. One who is fixed in jnana, knowledge. He's a guru, he's a teacher. One who shows by example. Acharya one. Acharya, a teacher, a spiritual teacher, is he who teaches others by his own example. That's an acharya. Not that you can have a facility. That's mundane. Guru is one who can give us that guidance, that enlightenment, that encouragement, shows us the path. And that Guru is Krishna, Chaitanya Guru. The Supreme Guru, Adi Guru, is Lord Balaram. The spiritual master, the original spiritual master is Lord Balaram, the Adi Guru. And it's mentioned here that the super soul, he is Atma Pradipa, the Lord within, that gives us the shiningness, that knowledge, Pradipa. So, our understanding is that we have to aspire for the blessing of the Vaishnavas, the blessing of the Guru, the blessing of the Radharani. Then we can get the blessing of Krishna. It is not something physical that we could work for it. I give you $1 million and give me the blessing. You can give the whole world. Krishna is not interested. He is the owner of the universe. You can't buy Krishna with money. I've given you $1 million, now give me the mercy, right now. Krishna doesn't have to. Krishna is the owner. But yet, Krishna is obliged to give himself to someone who is full of devotion for him. Bhaktama Vajanati. Krishna says, through bhakti, devotion, you can know me. What does that mean? Devotion, not just a talk. Devotional service. Work for Krishna. Hard work for Krishna. Why do you think we have this Hare Krishna movement today? Such a vast ISKCON movement organization all over the world. Because that single one person, Srila Prabhupada, and those pioneering devotees, they work hard right in the beginning. That's why you have all the Hare Krishna temple all over the world today. So that's always think in the back of our mind, that is the mercy of Prabhupada that we have this vast Hare Krishna movement that's facilitated today. Just like, I know, every Saturday we have, all this prasadam for sale. You know how much work goes into making that prasadam? This Prabhu here goes in the kitchen 3 days before, preparing, and then you buy it and eat in 2 minutes to finish. Right? That material enjoyment is limited. But at the same time, the reason why I'm saying this, that if you work for Krishna, similarly, in order to get that result, you have to work for it. It's not just 2-minute enjoyment, it's gone. It's eternal happiness. Krishna can bless you. Prabhupada said in one mantra, Hare Krishna mantra, if you're chanting sincerely, properly, that's enough to get love of God and go back to Godhead. I've seen Prabhupada say it here in this temple, in a video. So we've been chanting for years and years. That's good. We're not saying it's bad, but we have to aspire for that perfection. Perfection means that we have to really put an effort to do it so nicely that people will love it. What to speak Krishna? Krishna will love it. How do we know Krishna will love it? Because the devotees love it. Just like I used to work for a diamond company. I was giving a lot of diamond examples. So my job was to clean big diamonds, 1-carat diamond, clean. They put in alcohol. This is not drinking alcohol, special cleaning, and I have a special cloth. So you use a tweezer. You pick up one, you never touch diamond with the hand. It's all touched with tweezer. So we pick up and dip it in the alcohol, and then you gotta clean it with a special cloth, a diamond cloth. It's very soft. And then you weigh the diamond, and there's a little box, a small box, and put it in. They have gaps in the boxes. Each gap, there's exact size of the diamond. So you place it in very carefully with the tweezer, and then maybe there's 50 in one box or 30 like that, when the box is full in a row, and then you weigh the box, then you label it, and you put on the label what carat they are, what color they are, what cutting, all this thing, and then you put it aside. And then you show it to the boss. And then he checks one, he said, oh, perfect. Good job. Similarly, I'm making this point to clarify that perfection is very important. You want perfection? That perfection comes from your own endeavor, working hard for Krishna. Not physical, spiritual, subtle things, that you work at the same time, be humble. Oh Krishna, please accept my service. I'm so fallen. We dress the deity, at the end of the deity there's mantra, right? These mantras you read to the deity, outside the deity room or inside. After you finish dressing, you repeat this mantra to Krishna. Please forgive me for any offenses. There are mantras for that. That doing my worshipping you, I have committed so many offenses. Please forgive me. There's mantras for that. So if you want perfection in Krishna consciousness, you have to be doing it, the service with humility. Trinara peace nature. Not in this attitude, oh, I'm so good, I'm doing it. Everybody look at me. The attitude is so important. That's why Prabhupada said, Krishna consciousness. Consciousness must be in that humble attitude that we perform our service. Then the perfection comes from. Then Krishna will empower you from within because of your attitude, the devotional attitude, bhakti. This is in the material world. What to speak in devotional life? We all are here, everyone is good. So we encourage each other. Oh, you're so nice. We encourage each other to become more Krishna conscious. These devotees do so nicely. So these are all, we are all working together in the family of Vaishnava. So how important it is to have that devotional attitude. Why do you think Lord Narayan came down? To protect Gajendra, because Gajendra was desperate. And he was so humble and so loving. You know, this crocodile biting his leg for 100 years. And he was tolerating that pain. So devotional life, don't think it's all ha, it's very comfortable. We have to accept that austerity on behalf of Krishna, and it becomes so loving, and it becomes joyful. Joyfully performed. What is that verse? Joyfully performed. Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Sushukam kartamabhayam, happily performed. But we're thinking, only when happiness comes I'll do. When there's misery, I don't want to. And everybody in Melbourne temple, they work so hard. But I've never seen anyone complaining. They're all working, they're very happy. Because they know they're doing it for Krishna. Krishna at the end. When you do it for Krishna, it becomes joyful. Because Krishna is the source of happiness. He will give happiness. It's not like you can buy happiness in a bottle. Oh, can I have a 1 day's happiness? Oh, that'll charge you $50. Can I have a happiness for like a happy hour? Go to the bar. It's not like that. Spiritual happiness, that happiness is unlimited. You can't just buy it with money. Simply by chanting Hare Krishna, you can get that happiness. Someone will say, oh, how is that possible? Just chanting Hare Krishna and you can be happy forever. We're going to Harinam, people always tell us, oh, you guys, you look so happy. What is it that is making you so happy? We said, we chant Hare Krishna. He said, well, how can chanting Hare Krishna be so happy? But you join in and you experience it. Every one of us. You know, you woke up at 3:30, especially some of the devotees that live in the ashram, you know, and I'm going to be staying here tonight and tomorrow night, and some of the people in the ashram, they're up 2:30. Who in the world wakes up that early? 2:30. And very gently walk out. But, you know, when you get older, you can't sleep, but you're already up. And then at 3:30, they're already up doing japa. And by 9 o'clock, it's already 5 hours up. You're working, or people are still sleeping. How you can do that? Because there is spiritual happiness in it. Shukha, joyfully performed. You know, in Melbourne, the weather is not very comfortable. Freezing cold. I've seen these guys, they go from the ashram to the bathroom. It's like a whirlwind, zoom, zoom, which is so cold. They're not standing there and having a chat. They just go quickly bathroom and back to the ashram. And then they're in here temple. Because you're aspiring to be happy. You're looking forward to come in the temple, chant japa, because it's so pleasurable. You know, it's so happy in chanting Hare Krishna. I've been chanting Hare Krishna for the last 50 years. I always felt that. I can't wait to sit down and chant japa. It feels so good. There's no misery in there. You can sit, your knee may hurt a little bit, you can just shift. But at the end of your 2 hours of japa, it just feels like ecstatic. The happiness you get from that, you can't get it even if you have $1 million. You don't feel that happiness when you have everything material. The spiritual happiness is not material. Yeah. It's so simple to understand. And it's not a mundane mental happiness. Like material pleasure. It's all mental. You're driving a Ferrari. Okay? Everybody look at it. And we go on a Harinam, you see somebody, they're driving a very fancy car. You don't need a fancy car. They're just probably going down the road, not too far. Just showing off. But what pleasure do you get from that? Literally. That's ego. Just it feels good. There's no really tangible pleasure in that. Isn't it? Just somebody looking at you saying, oh, I'm so and so. That's all. That's not happiness. But spiritual happiness is different. Even in the misery, when you know your legs get bitten off by a crocodile, you still, when you're taking shelter of Krishna, you're chanting Hare Krishna, you don't care. You're not thinking of the misery that his legs get bitten off. Pleading. You're not even looking. You're looking up towards Krishna with the lotus flower that the Gajendra offering to Lord Narayan. 100 years just praying. Time goes so fast. That's what it takes. And I feel some misery, oh God, no. But if you chant Hare Krishna sincerely, you won't feel it, that misery, really. It requires understanding. It requires deeper understanding. It requires practice. That's abhyasa yoga yuktena. That's what Krishna said to Arjuna. Arjuna said, my mind is flickering. Chanchalaye mana Krishna pramati balabhadriya. My mind's like a wind. It's flickering like a wind. Krishna says, it's so hard for me to control. But Krishna says, abhyasa, simply have to practice and be detached from the result. Like you guys go and distribute books, you're not thinking how many books I sold. You're thinking, let me distribute books, let me save the conditioned soul. And the books goes like hotcake. Because of your consciousness, because of your attitude. Krishna blessing you. Krishna sends those sincere souls to you because of your spiritual attitude. Krishna is happy with you. Prabhupada said, those who distribute my books, they are the highest service they are doing. We can chant Hare Krishna, preach to each other, but in distribute books, the knowledge goes far and wide. So these teachings of the Bhagavatam, the stories of Gajendra, is particularly for us, for devotees. Because this is what we go through every day. How we're dealing with each other, someone's giving a hard time, or someone this and that. But we have to always know at the end that this Krishna put me in this situation so I can remember him. This Krishna is testing me. There's a reason for this. Don't immediately jump to conclusion and criticize others. Always think it's my fault. It's Krishna's mercy on me that I have to go through this. Gajendra is helpless in the water. He's a tough animal, elephant, and on the land, not in the water. But we are in the material world, we are helpless. Maya is so strong. The moment you think, oh, I'm so good, we are finished. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, perform your service with humility. A big tree, a big, huge, tall tree, it can be broken down easily, withered by the wind and storm. But a grass, nothing happens to the grass. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, be humble like a grass, tolerant than a tree. And Krishna is, you can win over Krishna through humility. So there's no room for pridelessness. You have to perform, in the Bhagavad Gita chapter 13, it says, right in the beginning, a devotee has to be pridelessness. You know, that's the big verse there. The qualities of a devotee. Tolerance, performing service, tolerance. It's not easy. People, like sometimes people say something to you, and you think over it the whole day. Oh, why did he say that? Why did he look at me? And then you can't even chant japa because your mind, it's disturbed by that thing. But we have to let it go. We have to learn to let it go and focus on Krishna, focus on the mantra, focus on the holy name. Look at the deity, pray to Krishna for his mercy. Even though Maya is so strong, but Krishna says, this is my energy. He can control, he can tell Maya to leave him alone. Isn't it? Like some country, they're fighting each other, and the bigger country said, leave them alone. So Krishna, he can tell Maya, it's my energy, leave this devotee alone. But you have to show that sincerity. So there's so many points you can talk about on this regard. Hare Krishna. If any questions, thank you. I speak on my own realization. It's not that I am a scholar. I try to touch on the point through my own realization and example and stories. That works for a lot of people in this modern age. Like we have many scholars here. You can touch other scholars, but me, I speak all on a basic subject through my own example and realizations. That seems to work a bit, so that's how it works. Any questions? Where's that girl that you always ask questions? She left. Okay, I'll just read the translation again and then we'll finish it. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the self-effulgent Supersoul, who is the witness in everyone's heart, who enlightens the individual soul, and who cannot be reached by exercises of the mind, words, or consciousness. Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.